Americans appear to be losing faith in what President Donald Trump says about the coronavirus pandemic, with almost everyone rejecting Trump's remark that COVID-19 may be treated by injecting infected people with bleach or other disinfectants, according to a Reuters Ipsos poll released on Tuesday. The April 27 to 28 public opinion poll found that fewer than half of all adults in the U.S. 47% said they were very, or somewhat likely to follow recommendations Trump makes about the virus. That is 15 percentage points lower than the number who said they would follow Trump's advice in a survey that ran at the end of March. And 98% of Americans said they would not try to inject themselves with bleach or other disinfectants if they got the coronavirus, including 98% of Democrats and 98% of Republicans. That is a near-unanimous rejection of an idea that Trump floated at a time of widespread anxiety about the virus. A majority of Americans said they were concerned about how the coronavirus is spreading, according to the poll, as the number of COVID-19 cases surpassed 1 million people in the United States this week, killing more than 56,000. Trump publicly mused about the benefits of cleaning COVID-19 patients on the insides with disinfectants or ultraviolet light during a news conference last week, directing health officials in the room to look into it. Medical experts immediately condemned the president's suggestion, and the makers of disinfectant products warned the public against ingesting them. Trump later tried to portray his remarks as sarcasm, but given his popularity with some Americans, health officials expressed concern his remarks would persuade some people to poison themselves. Overall, Trump's overall popularity has not changed much over the past week. 43% of Americans said they approve of his overall job performance, and the same number also approve of his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. Among registered voters, 44% said they would vote for Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden, while 40% said they would back Trump if the election were held today. The Reuters Ipsos poll was conducted online, in English, throughout the United States. It gathered responses from 1,001 adults, including 416 Democrats and 419 Republicans. In addition, senior U.S. House members vowed to pass major defense bill despite pandemic. The long reach of the coronavirus outbreak will not keep U.S. lawmakers from passing an annual bill that determines how the Pentagon spends its billions, as Congress has done for 6 decades. Representatives Adam Smith, Democratic chairman of the House of Representatives Armed Services Committee, and Mac Thornberry, the panel's top Republican, announced on Tuesday that the National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, will pass in 2020, as it has annually since 1961. This year, Congress will pass the 60th National Defense Authorization Act, Smith and Thornberry said in a joint statement. However, they said the coronavirus crisis will affect how the sprawling bill, this year's NDAA affected more than $730 billion in spending, is written and voted on by the House. The NDAA sets policy for the U.S. Department of Defense on everything from soldiers' pay rates to how many fighter jets it buys to which bases are closed. It is one of the few major pieces of legislation to make it through Congress every year, a point of great pride for the House and Senate Armed Services panels. Smith and Thornberry said they were discussing the process for passing the bill with House leaders from both parties, but remained committed to regular order, or moving it through the committee and then to the House floor. Because the NDAA passes every year, members of Congress typically use it as a vehicle for a wide range of policy matters. This year's NDAA is expected to address the novel coronavirus crisis,